Imagine, for a moment, what a traditional Disney movie would look like if it were directed by Guillermo del Toro. A combination of cute and whimsical, mixed with macabre and unsettling. This is what you get with Bramble, the Mountain King. The story focuses on Ollie and Lilymore, a brother and sister pair who quickly find themselves wrapped up in a twisted and tragic fairy tale. Initially, the two only seem to be swept away to a delightful place of whimsy and fun. The various critters and creatures pose no real threat and are mostly eager to engage with them. Naturally, in typical Del Toro fashion, things are turned on their side before too long. The world becomes dark and foreboding, and that feeling of comfort quickly fades away. The cutesy critters become a lot more dangerous, and the story begins to weave a very grim tale. This all starts when Ollie is separated from his sister. He awakens in the middle of the night only to realize that Lilymore is not in her bed. Curiously, he searches their bedroom in search of clues as to her whereabouts. Then he notices the window, ajar with a cold breeze flowing inside. Like any good brother, he is compelled to look for his sister, and uses her makeshift rope to climb out the window and head to the nearby woods, under the assumption that she is somewhere in there.
But not being with his sister scared him even more.
Initially, the forest is about as spooky as any forest would be in the dead of night, but he presses on, and eventually finds his sister. The two make their way deeper into the woods, engaging with various critters and creatures, solving puzzles, and enjoying some light platforming. But it doesn't take long before Lilymore is snatched away from Ollie, setting Ollie on the hero's path. Upon starting the game, you'll immediately notice the downright striking presentation. The game oozes atmosphere from every orifice. The game sports a very realistic look overall, but also presents our protagonists as smaller than normal. You'll quickly find everyday items that are much larger than Ollie, apples, wildlife, etc. There's no transition or explanation given for this transformation, and I kind of dig it. This approach plays into the game's fairy tale nature quite well. The humanoid characters exude a style that may not be for everyone, but it didn't bother me too much. Only a handful of friendly NPCs exist in the world of Bramble. They barely interact with our protagonist, usually contributing to a cutscene and little more. But again, this adds to the whimsy of the game. Other characters play more integral roles in your adventure, such as the stone golem. When you first encounter him, he is being bullied by some other mystical forest creatures. Ollie scares them off and he thanks you for being a friend. From this point forward, he shows up to lend a hand from time to time, quite literally.
Lemus might be big, but he had a warm stone heart. All he longed for was a friend. His face scared away most. Even so, it seemed like he had found one.
The boss characters are expertly designed as well. Though very classic for what they are, their design is well done. You'll encounter a variety of enormous trolls, a cursed songster, a seductive witch, and more. And each of them are welcome additions. This is because they all contribute to the overall story and provide you with some much needed challenge in the form of boss fights. Now, typically, there is no combat to speak of in Bramble. This game is very much like Limbo or Little Nightmares in this regard. Stealth and avoidance are key here. But these boss characters deviate from this. Each of these bosses has a gimmick which you must exploit either with the power of light, which Ollie finds early in the game, or through reflexes and wit. For example, when fighting this troll, the Butcher, you need to stun him with pieces of meat that fall from the ceiling. This causes him to swing his blade frantically, removing objects from your path in the process. Another example is this ultra creepy boatman. This creeper appears behind Ollie while rowing to the mountain and transports Ollie into a subconscious void of terror. The boatman then attempts to destroy Ollie in a number of ways, unleashing a giant rat horde, a grating rake, or by simply eating him. The trick with this battle is to simply avoid these attacks and use the power of light to damage the boatman. Once he is knocked out, Ollie is transported back to the real world and can continue to row his way to the mountain. It isn't over that easily though, as the boatman will eventually recover and yank Ollie back into his subconscious. The cool thing is that each of these boss characters brings with it a tragic tale. These are told in a very straightforward fashion, a well-narrated storybook, complete with pictures and devoid of text. These stories do an excellent job of explaining the boss character's plight and motivation, and are crucial if you're looking to enjoy everything on offer here. The moment-to-moment gameplay doesn't do anything particularly new or innovative. You navigate 3D environments while solving puzzles and navigating platforms, much like the aforementioned Limbo or Little Nightmares, except in 3D instead of 2D. A crucial element of this comes in the form of evolving abilities. Now, these abilities aren't introduced to you in a manner similar to Super Metroid or Resident Evil. Rather, these abilities are contextual. The game repurposes previously taught controller commands to accomplish new abilities. For example, you'll typically use the L trigger to aim your light orb and R trigger to throw it, but in some circumstances, you won't have the light orb. So instead, the same maneuver would be used to throw other things, or focus light energy in order to remove the cursed bramble from your path. I really like this because it doesn't force me to learn a whole slew of controller commands. It instead streamlines everything and reuses things in an effort to minimize friction for the player. And I'm all for reducing friction between me and my games. Bramble's soundscape is vital to the overall experience. It's the glue that holds the creepy environments together. And fortunately, the developers nailed this. The music has a strong Scandinavian vibe and feel to it. Lots of drawn-out string instruments, moody ambience, and occasionally playful melodies accompany the many situations you play through in the game. The notable exception, however, arrives during the end of the game, but I'll leave that for you to discover. Bramble the Mountain King is a truly unforgettable experience. While there was one particular puzzle that drove me insane, and a boss battle that should have been more in line with the rest of the game, neither ruined the overall experience for me. The game is about the Mountain King at its core, but manages to tell several other compelling tales along the way. These tales can range from downright tragic to truly horrific and disturbing. And some of this stuff goes dark enough that you definitely wouldn't want your young kids to bear witness to any of it. I obviously highly recommend Bramble. This is the exact kind of game that reminds me of the reason I fell in love with video games in the first place. Beautiful graphics and sound, a series of compelling stories, and well-polished gameplay make this one a must-play, even if it is a bit on the short side. Give it a play and let me know what you think. Hey guys, thanks for watching till the very end of the video. I very much appreciate that. If you could throw me a like, comment, subscribe, any of those things, that'd be fantastic. With that said, I'll talk to you next time.